back with another Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts episode, and this is us testing out the new hulls to the game, which I've gone with a year that most of the new hulls are available for. But yeah, this is a full-on testing out this time, not just doing a campaign and hoping it works. So first off, we're going to try out the new Experimental Dreadnought 1 hull, which is sort of, I think, a mix of the Dreadnought 1 and a sort of standard type. I'm going to be murdered for misassuming that, most likely, but yeah, tower options are sort of similar to what the Texas hull had when I did a video on that, with this style of cage mast just with different variations, and then this sort of tripod mast that was sort of added to Texas in our modernizations, and then stern cage masts are the same as well. Where this differs from like the normal Dreadnought hull is that we've got these platforms here for guns, and also the fact that this hull is set up in a way that you aren't, or I hope you aren't, set in an offset issue. And this is like my first time using this hull ever, so well, I've done some very basic stuff with it just to like see what it does and everything. And then you can fit like in these tubs here 5-inch guns. I think you can go higher caliber, but then those lower tubs there are for 2-inch guns. Although, obviously, it'd be dependent on placement, because like here as well could have it, but you'd have to sacrifice a 5-inch. And then also these ones could as well, but then be wary of your turret firing and stuff. Funnels are pretty much the same, with the funnel plus watchtower, the medium exhausts, little exhausts, and the overloaded. I'm going to do a sort of thing I did with the Texas hull when I initially tested that out, and do an overload watchtower mix. Although I think I could just do watchtower one and move that more forward. Like this hull, I've found that this one's more of an aft-weight offset hull than the normal American battleships of this time period that we are all used to. Got that hydro there and shaft 2. Now, I've done this in custom battle and will be custom battling against a class of any battleship that I will have to obviously make myself as well. Standard ratio of the Sing is not having torpedoes. There, as you're equipped with 14s, you'll use stereoscopic. 12, 5, 5, 3, 3. Yeah, I have greatly noted that this hull is more aft weight sitting than its usual counterparts. Yeah, the armor is all good. But yeah, that's the first of the new hulls that I'm trying out in this video, the Experimental Dreadnought 1. which hull stats are between 20,500 and 24,500 on standard beam and draught, with a maximum optimum speed of 21 knots, and your beam can go between -9 to +10, and draught between -15 to +16.5%. And minimum crew is 525, with your hull form being 47, stability 77, floatability 70, resistance 77.5, sustained speed while turning 45, and a surface visibility of 6,200. What I've just done here is a sort of large caliber gun version of this hull. But normally when you originally get this hull, you probably have 12s, if you're lucky, 13s available to you. Now, I'm going to use up the rest to get a 20 knot speed on this thing. And yeah, that is my variation of the Experimental Dreadnought 1. Now, next up, you have the Dreadnought 2, which is the hull that was already in the game, which is the initial New York / Texas style hull. Seeing as it's the initial one, I'm going to actually give it the cage mast instead of the best supported tower, and this ship is going to be equipped with a triple 13-inch. And move that there. Oh yeah, secondary tower in place there. Secondary towers are the same, so are main towers. So are the funnels as well, come to think of it. Right, centerline, triple 13, and I can move that forward ever so slightly, and that there. And then you obviously have your barbette for the stern, and can do stuff here. But yeah, this hull does have an unfortunate sharing with its pre-beta counterparts. That being, unsurprisingly, the offset is very, very far forward. Now, this is the hull I believe I've already tried out, so I'm not really going to state much here. Well, actually, if we're going to give the hulls all a fair, decent chance at their respective roles, we're all going to just fit them with twin 14s, because that's what I set the initial hull on. So yeah, to give every gun, every ship their own chance with their own quirks, they're all going to be fitted with the same caliber of gun. So that means 5-inch secondaries as well. And yeah, this thing's quirk is obviously the very far forward weight offset, which I'm going to try and offset a bit by 2 torpedoes in the rearward area of the ship. Anti-torpedo free, double bottom. Oh, I probably need to go back and do this all on main. And also as well to give all the hulls the same help. Their crew training is going to be dead set on 50, which I'll fix out on the main as well. But yeah, this thing is, as you can see, massively full-weight offsetted, which is a down tick to this, and it's that uprising there, Robbo. Yeah, I had to tab out of UADC chat right now, Robbo, because yeah, I don't have my phone because it's on charge after me having to use it a lot last night because of waiting around whilst babysitting for family. But yeah, what I'm doing, as the title suggests, is I'm trying out all the new Battleship hulls, and I'm trying to give them a fair chance by giving them all like the same caliber of guns, and I'll give them all the same shell setup, which I'm gonna have to actually change to main as well, the same shell setup and everything. Right, Wisconsin. Oh, first off, I'll quickly go through the hull stats for this hull, which is hull form of 61, which is better than the experimental Dreadnought 1. Stability of 76, which is worse. Floatability of 73, which is better. Resistance of 71.5, which is worse. And sustained speed while turning is better. Surface visibility is also worse with 6,300. And yeah, I need to quickly go back to the main here and give your crew training 50%. And TNT 2 powder 1. Enhanced. Electrohydraulic. Standard ratio, standard. Good. Then back here. Yeah, I did all the same in the shells there. But yeah, how have you been, Robbo, by the way? If you don't mind me asking. Alright. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This stuff on the turrets needs to be done here. And I could shave a bit off the 4 belt. 0.5 on each, and yeah, these things are giving the other hull a slight advantage over that. The other hull doesn't have a massive forward offset. Ah! Good to see you've been carrying on with the modelling stuff. I am in need of a new band. To cut a long story short, argument I got dragged into, tried to resolve it, one member didn't want to resolve it, and that was the final straw for me. And that is cutting an absolute long story short. Like, it's a lot more complicated than that, but I'm not going to go much more into that more complicatedness. Well, we've got a bit of revenge on that member because we were in the process of writing another EP when this whole thing happened, and me and another member of the group, which amounted to half the group, left. And funnily enough, that other member who left just so happened to have written a song that was going to be very important in the upcoming EP. And so we have taken that song and we're developing it and going to release it ourselves without any interference from said ex-members. Most likely also because they're going to be taking all the royalties from Spotify anyway with our new released music that's been newly put up on there, I should say. Which I really think we should have, like, a meeting despite we're no longer bandmates, just to then sort out the whole royalty thing, because, yeah, that really needs to be sorted out. Anyway, moving on to the next hull is the Dreadnought 3 with a hull form of 53, which is worse than Dreadnought 2. Stability, which is better than both the previous hulls combined. Floatability is 79, better than both of the hulls. Resistance is 70, worse than both of these hulls. Sustained speed while turning is an in-between of these two hulls. And surface visibility is 300 more than the hull before it. Now, tower-wise, we have the normal cage masts, we have the advanced fire control, and we have then, like, this thing here, which is a sort of more developed version of the tower we see on Texas. This thing, which I think is sort of like the tower we see on Texas, and then what I could only describe as the Americans saw the Japanese pagoda mast and was like, we could take a better option to that. Oh god. That's why I don't use an auto mod. That's why I've actually sort of forced viewers like you as my moderator team. And then secondary towers here are just normal cage masts. I'm trying to be informative with this with the hull stuff here, Robbo, because this is also going up on YouTube, and so if anyone's looking on YouTube, and they'll probably see this as like one of the more informative ones of the new hulls. So I should mention to YouTube viewers, this is also live streamed on Twitch as well then, for that front. Right. So yeah, to keep it equal between everyone, these have all got the same twin 14-inch turrets as the previous designs. Medium bar back there. It's not a surprise, Dad! Speaking of streams, I'm in the middle of one. Yes, you can. You can. Oh, there's a better funnel plus watchtower here, as well as a better medium funnel here, which is, okay. We'll just go with the one with the watchtower because that's the one we went with in the past, and it's the one we'll stick with. And engine stuff is all good here. Oh, I forgot to say the optimum hull speed here is 22 knots, which is it faster than the other two hulls? That's a definite. And then this has got a sort of your normal gun placement stuff here, which can't do there unless I move that like that, and then maybe I could fit 5-inch twin there. No. Twin, and to quickly do the keeping everything equal, I will quickly just 2 powder TNT 2 enhance Ultra Hydra turret everything here. Right. Oh. No, electro-hydro steering is I never use electric steering. But this is the penultimate hull for this time period, and then we have to like skip forward to 1919 at the minimum for the next hull. So yeah. Stereoscopic, advanced, hydro. Crew here is at 50, quarters at standard. Now this thing's got a faster speed than her previous counterparts, yes, so let's see if the faster speed results in a more a different resultant to their actual combat performance or not. And there we go, we have good efficiency now. And we got rid of the watchtower. 12, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 17, 1. You know what, this thing slightly increased the armor belt from the previous. Ah. Trying to procrastinate as much on painting as possible. Or are you just going to like do a whole bunch of building and then do the painting and just get it over with all in one? Oh god, there's my sister going off in her squeaky voice again. Which most likely means that she's speaking to Dad about one of the games she plays. Anyway. Nope, 2 enchants won't fit there. Well then, actually, if we're going off by where guns fit and we need to fix a forward way offset, we can always just move some guns back. Ah. God, I need to move that slightly forward. There, and then that one back. Move that as far back as possible. Yeah, this thing is going to have a 4-way offset like the other one, but this one I've at least tried to make the 4-way offset a little less. For me, with model stuff, I probably wouldn't try and get like specific camos and stuff out of them. I'd more than likely just go with the standard ones. Like just as bog standard as I can get and simple as I can get. Right. Now, there's one last battleship hull of this time period that we have to cover, which is the Dreadnought 4, which is, I think, the closest looking to the actual Texas hull, and just this massive tower. Well, Texas isn't nowadays Texas, I should say. Oh, this one's stuff is sort of an with hull form it's in between a 2 and 3. Stability it's worse. Floatability it's worse. Resistance it's the same as 3. Sustained speed while turning is in between of those two, and surface visibility is worse. There we go, been through a brief description of everything. Here now, again, we're being fair here. Twin 14s. Same medium barbette, and then let's go back and centerline 14-inch. There. Question: do you have 6,000 tanks in your ranks, and do you use them as battering rams? Oh god. Pterodominatus reference. Okay, well, we'll leave those casemates blanked out. And the funnels are pretty much the same, so just go this one. Oil, gear turbine, forced, and 19 knots. That's as much full weight reduction as I can get on this thing. Close enough. And yeah, what we're doing is we're sending, I should mention as well, we're sending 2 ships of each hull against 2 enemy battleships. I think I've mentioned it earlier. If I didn't, then it's mentioned now. There we go. Now we just need to finish off this armor stuff. Although we don't really have torpedoes to worry about. Shouldn't do anyway. I'm still going to add in the anti-torpedo. This thing will use electrical steering. Right, so of the hulls, we are going to test them out in order of what they were built in. So, oh god, why have you just gone overweight? There you go. So, going in order of built-in, we use the Experimental Dreadnought 1 first. Oh god, I forgot to make the Catalyst enemy ship. Oh well. I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, all these hulls have same gun, same shell setup, same starting ranges and everything. Only thing that's different is all the other ships have got Q turrets and all have different hull status and secondaries. This doesn't look horrible compared to others I've seen, but yeah, it seems my ships as well are playing this a bit smart and they're going for separate targets each. On saying that, they then now go to this singular target. Now yes, I know this isn't a way you properly use battleships. They're not supposed to be going into Napoleonic ranges, but yep, here we are, the Aegis sail distance between each other. The Italian campaign I'm running, so yeah. Somehow still undamaged long beaches, so now coming upwards towards Bohemia. I'd have to guess most of the crew and staff inside the ship are dead. I saw you'd upload the video, but I wasn't in an internet area last night because I was babysitting in a house that until Tuesday doesn't have internet, so yeah, I haven't been able to watch that yet, but I have seen that he has uploaded another video with Drac on KGB designs. I just haven't watched that video yet. Yeah, because I'm curious as well as to what design variations were actually used for the KGVs. Now, yeah, next up on the list of hull testing is the hull that we already sort of know the capabilities of, the Dreadnought 2 hull, which is sort of the initial New York class hull. Robo, I think last night's going to be the last time I babysit with being told that, oh, you're going to have to sleep on the sofa, by the way. Even if I have to bring my cam bed or something, I'm never ever doing babysitting again. Yeah. That's it, another thing there. Oh god, this hull is, at least for Vermont, is having a lot worse of a time. This is a lot better on Battleship design from the AI. Oh god, they do exist. Robo, get the camera. Yeah. Robo, get the camera. There's a AI designed battleship that's actually decent, and it's a. Oh no. Never mind. It's got cordite. Here was me thinking that the AI had, for once, made a decent ship, but no, it's got cordite. Yeah, it must be a bug. They made a good ship. Like, they made a design that I would, if I was given a campaign, random starts, random ships, with this ship, I would choose it. I'd choose it to be kept around and not sent to the scraps immediately, or refit yards. Oh god, Wisconsin and Vermont are both not doing as well as Maine and Long Beach did. Here's the thing, everything between the ships except for the number of guns are the same. Well, the number of guns and the speed are the same, really. Well, yeah, we do have a slightly lighter 4 belt, but that... Yeah, but... I know it isn't, but still, it's just became sort of a meme within the whole Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought community, as well as also the fact that there's a usual quote I make whenever a flash fire happens because of all like the whole meme and stuff of that they're using cordites. Oh no. Wisconsin. I'm sorry, the state of Wisconsin, you've just lost your battleship. If Wisconsin is actually a state. Like, this is a really decent, these are really decent enemy ships if they are easily destroying a player-made ship like this. And with a player who's gotten somewhat decent in the ship design as well. Hold on a second, I'm just going to screenshot this. And screenshot again with less smoke and blowing it. And then that right there is proof of a actually good AI design. Saved. All to be seen. 1918. And I've turned it into a Sabaton reference now, as it's the ending of the second verse, just before the second pre-chorus. That's 2 Sabaton references I made now, because when you were mentioning about your tanks, I made an Altero Dominatus reference to the 6,000 tanks in our ranks. And now have made a Future Warfare reference. What Sabaton song do you want me to try and get a reference into next? Well, reference into something I say next. Oh, there goes Wisconsin. Vermont doesn't look like it's going to last much longer. I think we're already safe to say that this hull isn't as good as the previous one, at least in this testing. So, yeah, back to the build ships, as we have now proven that Dreadnought 2 isn't as decent as we probably think it was. Next up is the New Mexico's here, which is the Dreadnought 3. Let's see how they do. Yeah. Yeah, we should clip it. Clip it on for my Twitch, and then send a link to that clip to Monroe of an actual decent enemy battleship, with like the only downside I saw, but that wasn't really a downside for them because we weren't able to take advantage of it. Cordite. Like, yeah, that's the only thing I would change in a refit is obviously the Cordite, but if I were given that ship as an AI design from choosing AI built ships in the campaign start, I would not complain about that, as I think I've said. Right, moving on, let's see how good this enemy battleship is. Okay, they use triples. They've used 14.6s. Okay, and they've got an 8.2, I'm guessing that's that one. They've got a couple of 3.4s, 4.4s, I'm guessing the casemates, and then another 3.4 somewhere. This one, by looks again, I think is actually another decent AI ship. Right. Damn, I should have added a disclaimer at the start of this of, yeah, it's not bad looking. Like, yeah, I would say for the surface mounted second. Well, this one actually has got better secondary placement, although probably would have added some sort of like more side turrets here. But this one actually is very decent looking, although they're not really that good when it comes to fire. But I see us pretty evenly matched this time round. Like, except for that very first battleship we had with the Maine and Long Beach, the AI have actually made decent designs today. Which, round of applause to the, AI ship design, for once. This thing is rather decently set up for armor-wise as well, although I think it's massively halfway offsetted from that armor setup. Yeah, it's got 10% offsets somewhere, I think, to the stern. But yeah, it looks a decent design, other than its armor setup. Right. Let's actually see it from the least damage of the two. So yeah, it uses oil-forced turbines, auxiliary power cable, shaft 2, bounce rudder, electrical steering, crop 4, barbette 4, anti-torque 1, which is unsound for this one. Okay, single bottom, that's a down tick for that, but so far so good. Reinforced bulkheads 1, I say fine for that. Anti-flow 3, uptick. Citadel 2, well, not the best of this time period, it's not the worst. So, yeah. Increased AP, this is an eye beholder, not a good thing, but then again, it's to anyone's playstyle. Shells are heavy, shell ammo is reduced. Bursting charges TNT, 2, good. Turrets are electro-hydro, personally for me, good. Reload is standard, I'd fix that if I were making this ship. They have torpedoes, 19-inch fasts, would be fast, but yeah, Coincidence 2, that's not the best available right now. But Hydro and the radio are the best available. Overall, I give that design a solid 7 out of 10. I don't know. Like, I was thinking beforehand I should have off camera built the enemy ship that all my ships would be fighting against, but I, as you can most probably tell, have not done that. Because where's the entertainment in not giving the viewers the entertainment value they have from this game, from the ridiculous AI designs that are made at times? Well, in this case it's not ridiculous, in this case it's very decent ships. Like that previous class I would give a 9 out of 10, this class I give a 7. The first ones though, they were 3 out of 10 at most. But yeah, I say we've done good. I'm just going to reduce the general volume down a bit and sound effects volume because I'm, at least for this later half of the episode, going to try and resolve a complaint from a viewer of wanting my mic volume to sound louder, which seeing as everything is already set up to max, this is the only way. They could see my microphone is going louder than it actually is. Hard to port, hard to port, hard to port, hard to port. At least with the settings I've got on this hull, it's very responsive to hull commands. And the 5-inch guns are firing. Yeah, it's most likely gone by this point. Yeah, it's gone. We're going to adjust targets towards the bridgeheads. Bridgeheads. How the hell we pronounce it? But yeah, I'd definitely give this AI design a 7 out of 10, with improvements being the armor layout, and the rest are like personal preference stuff that, like, example, the Citadel, I would say Citadel 3 would have been great, the Orcs would be a 1, but yeah, overall though, a good design, like I said. So, I think we could already tell from this battle that, at least with what I've done with the hull design for Dreadnought 3, it's good. Now, we move on to the final Dreadnought before we have to change the year we're fighting in, which is this ship here. The Delaware class. which was hopefully built to a better standard than its previous counterparts, the Wisconsins, and hopefully was built to the same standard as the New Mexicos. Right. Oh, yeah, for those of you who were praising the AI for making good designs, me included, yeah, that was a one-time, though that was a two-time wonder, but yeah. It's back to the usual Shizer designs that we always think of the AI. Yeah. Yeah, back to the cursed designs it is, Robbo. And it was going so well, AI. Okay, so really I'm going to fight this battle until one side sinks one ship of the other, and then we'll see how good the hulls are based on their performance from it. I should have been taking notes of the performance of how long it actually took for them to sink a battleship, and also how much damage they dealt and stuff, but yeah. That's what the variations of the Atlanta hull come out of for me to take the improvements of my episodes here of... Yeah, it is very German. But yeah, take the improvements of my hull review episodes here, and then use that for future ones, with the future at least one hull that's being added. Which I'm hoping that the theory that Monroe hinted at whilst he was going through the initial beta covering video he did, that this may be the last major update for UAD, isn't true. Although if it is, maybe all of us fans of like the whole game series and old game and stuff could maybe like all come together and carry on the development of the game. But I remember ages ago when Monroe was actually speaking about that in the Discord. Yep, they're burning. Unfortunately, because it's not a German ship, they don't have the name Berlin. And also, unfortunately, I don't have an Artero Dominatos here with us. Yeah. Unless, of course, the developers make, like, a sequel to this or something, but then again, they've got a platform here that, if they do a sequel, it's gonna be difficult to top this game. But usually sequels of games like this is sort of for purposes of, oh, we're updated this to newer software stuff, and we've got some extra features here which we could have added in with the old game, but it's like, we want more money, so we're making an entirely separate game for it. Although, recently Rule the Waves with Rule the Waves 3 has actually done it as, yeah, we got a new game here, but this new game goes into an extended period from our previous two games, where we go into the missile era up to the 1980, I believe the new Rule the Waves 3 is going to go up to. Which, speaking of Rule the Waves, I actually want to try and get one of the Rule the Waves games at some point, because I can definitely tell that Dreadnoughts here is heavily inspired off of Rule the Waves. But I think I've mentioned it a couple of times in some of my past videos. This is essentially like a fully 3D Rule the Waves. Yeah. Or maybe they make like DLC for Rule the Waves. No, not Rule the Waves. UAD with like for players who want it, you can pay this amount for a DLC that adds in aircraft carrier mechanics to the game and aircraft carriers and stuff. Like, that could be like a DLC for the game, although then again, with aircraft carriers you then have to go through all balancing stuff and everything, and at least trying to make it that it's not going to ruin the effectiveness of battleships and stuff. But like, I think that should be the way if they continue development and eventually want to add aircraft carriers, that they add aircraft carriers in as a DLC for UAD. Yeah. Which I'm also thinking that if you do have like a DLC for aircraft carriers and stuff, it could be toggled to have or not have aircraft carriers as well, so yeah. Another balance could be make the aircraft carriers ridiculously expensive, like Super Battleship costs. Yeah, because really right now 3-inch and 2-inch are only used to fill up weight slots within the game. And is a sort of a, we're screwed already, but at least we'll take the destroyer down with us guns. Or for very early destroyers, make them Dakka boats. Yeah. But then also, as well, I'm thinking, if they do have like an aircraft carrier DLC, it would make budget management more of a challenge as well, because you would have to manage the research of aircraft, the research of aircraft carriers themselves, the research of anti-aircraft weaponry, and would also give you more panic of, oh, what do I research, what do I research? Right, I'm going to move Delaware and Arizona in closer. Okay, as per my rules, one of the battleships have actually sunk, and it's of our side, so leave the battle. That's our current setup, by the way, for battle-wise. I'm just checking now when the latest year of the Dreadnought 5 is, which is 1926, so 1926 for me and Austria-Hungary, and we design our ships with 1926 technology. Now, because there's only one design here that I'm going to really be designing, there's only one design that's on a new hull, I'm going to design the enemy ship as well. Now, yeah, there's the towers like this, or there's like the, who am I kidding? The American Pagoda. And then there's like the advanced secondary tower here now, which is essentially the old main tower, but now just the rear tower. And then you've got your bulk standard UAD funnel, and then a new funnel for, I think, especially made for this hull. Now, main gun wise, could this thing fit quad 15s? Oh my god, it can. It can. But unfortunately, my ruling states that we have to, for fairness between each of the hulls, use twin 14-inch turrets. Why not have a couple of 152mm guns? That's ruined the Sphinx Iron Arcs though, so forward like that, and yeah, we are good there. Now, casemates, 5-inch. Right, so the other ships had a maximum of Krupp 4, so you know what? We'll just take advantage of the best stuff here, armor-wise. We'll go in a turtleback scheme. Anti-flood free, reinforced bulkheads, standard ratio. Yeah, they would. Like, yeah, they, like, in the theoretical aircraft carrier DLC, I'm now just thinking in my head if, like, there will be a special research in turret mechanisms or of dual purpose guns, but then those dual purpose guns are only for a certain caliber from the start, and you have to do more research into it to get more calibers and stuff. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back momentarily. I have returned. Right. Back here. Now the stuff here is all set. Rangefinders, we've obviously got better rangefinders available, so the enemy ship is going to be more overpowered though, so that's why I'm going to design the enemy vessel just with whole. Actually, now I'll leave the AI to design it. Two powder TNT, it's cap ballistic, and that's high capacity. Yeah. Crew training is good. Range, who cares? Speed, just 19. Oh god. Oh, we're way offset still. There we go. We'll just launch it against an AI built ship and call it a day. Yep, there we go. Iowa and Rhode Island. At least this Rhode Island isn't as bad as the Rhode Island from the Chinese campaign. Those of you who have seen the Chinese campaign will know exactly what I'm talking about. God, I hated the Rhode Island class. Okay, these guys got 13s. And, yeah, welcome to the return of the cursed AI designs. distance, line abreast. Normal distance. Rhode Island and Isle. Well, Rhode Island's already taken a whole massive beating. Iowa is doing slightly better. But we're dishing out equal punishment to each other. That's concerning. Okay, they've dealt more damage now. We put everything in protection, didn't we? Or we put a lot in protection. Yeah, they kind of do. But yeah, I give this thing just from looks alone 4 out of 10. Oh god, Iowa has taken a whole bunch of massive damage. Iowa has now hit the Rhode Island. I think I'm not good at testing new hulls. Trying them out. Come on, Iowa, you can do this. Right. Right. I know for certain it wasn't you, Robbo, because you're still on Kentucky. Although it's a newer Kentucky, you still kept to a USS Kentucky in this reality. Although it's a newer one, it was one off custom made for you. Oh. As per the rules, we have to end this battle with the Dreadnought 4 hull is not good at all. And yeah. This is I should clarify to all viewers, this is only just my testing of the hulls. Other viewers may have different outcomes with their hulls, and also may have better text and stuff and better design choices than I have, but yeah. Now, yeah, other players' mileage may vary, and also I just did this as a quick thing for fun. I say quick. Right. For Twitch viewers, I'm going to take a brief break to set up the Italian campaign again, and then we'll carry on the Italian campaign. For YouTube viewers, it'll be a see you possibly tomorrow, and you probably still don't know what I mean by Italian campaign. Silent service going silent.